there, that journey chick on Instagram. Welcome to Crafting and Crime Daily, another episode. Yes, today we're going to talk about the Ahmaud Arbery case and just a little bit about the aftermath of the Donald Hartung case because it was really interesting. I hope you're having a great day. I hope the week is going okay for you. Don't forget to hit the like button and then replace his toothpaste with Nair. Oh, that's so mean. Don't forget to subscribe if you are enjoying the content, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss another episode of Crafting and Crime. I do number the episodes and I do playlist the trials. So if you miss an episode, you can go back and find it. Yep. So let's get out the planner. Ah. Oh my gosh, I have stuff everywhere. What's this? Oh, yeah. I know what it is. Alrighty. November. Oh my God, this year is almost over. Where did it go? Oh my gosh, 2021 went by so quickly. I think my wish for 2022 is that I could turn on the national news and not hear the lead story about COVID vaccinations. Oh my God, I am so sick of it. Like the boosters and the this and the that. Just, can you lead with something else? You know, they always say, breaking news, the CDC, da, da, da. You know, I'm like, again, I would be satisfied with like one weekly update. I can't talk today. One weekly update where they just tell us what's going on, you know, with the FDA and Pfizer and all, you know, and then leave us alone the rest of the week. Give us the news. Tell us, you know, about kidnapping, you know, stuff that true crime, stuff that we enjoy. So, yeah, okay. I digress. Is this the current week or is this last week? This is last week. Oh my goodness. Okay. Doctor's appointment list yesterday. Guess what? Now, I go to the doctor's appointment, walk in. I'm like, I'm here for my appointment with Dr. Adrian. They look at each other, the two clerks. They're like, I'm like, what's wrong? And I look up at the board and I don't see Dr. Adrian's name because they have like a board that says which doctor is in today. I'm like, okay, what? And then I hear some lady over at the appointment desk, like way far in the other room. She's like, he's out at St. Teresa, which means St. Teresa is like way the other direction. I am way east. He is way west. I'm like, well, clearly I'm not going to make that appointment. I said, why would I make an appointment to go out to St. Teresa? I don't live near St. Teresa. Well, I don't live near either one. I'm like halfway between. Anyway, so I said, just cancel the appointment. And I was kind of pissed. And she's like, do you want me to reschedule? I'm like, no, I don't. Frankly, I was considering canceling the appointment anyway because my shoulder, you know, it only hurts when I use it. It's not bothering me too much, you know. Occasionally it bothers me. I just have to watch what I do with it. So I really believe that it's arthritis. So, you know, certain weather, you know, that kind of thing. It's just another joint I'm going to have to live with that hurts. So I come home, I look at my planner. You know, I have the little appointment sticker here to see if maybe I made a mistake about where I was supposed to go. And nope, I went to the right place. It was their mistake. Now, my mistake was probably not checking my voicemails. I'm going to bet there was a voicemail telling me, hey, I think you're supposed to go out to St. Teresa. Anyway, whatever. No doctor's appointment. But you know what did happen yesterday? I finished. I don't have enough room on Tuesday. I finished my sister's blanket, and I will put a couple of pictures here so you can see. I would actually show you the actual blanket, but she took it to bed with her. And who can blame her? It's this nice warm blanket. I used a total of 3, 6, 9, 11 skeins of Lion brand Thick and Quick. And it was a 6-weight yarn. So, yeah. Oh, it was Woolies, Thick and Quick. Oh, beautiful yarn. Beautiful. It worked up beautiful. I put that dark blue edge around it. And it just, the colors in it are just amazing. You have to kind of look up close to see the colors. There's greens and blues in with this gray. It's gorgeous. And how I got that yarn was through the mystery Santa sacks. I ordered a bunch of those things last year, those Santa sacks, 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 6, I don't know. They were $20 a piece, $19.99. So, and each one, you would get 9 skeins, and that's how I ended up with all of that Woolies Thick and Quick. So this was the best way to use it up. So I got rid of 9 skeins of that stuff. And because a lot of the Santa sacks were identical, so we would get the same yarn in each sack. So I ended up with 9 skeins of this same identical yarn, and then 3 skeins of that dark blue, which was the same type of yarn but a different color, which I used as the opposing color. Is that what you use? Do you call it posing? I don't know. Complementary color. They're not opposing each other. They're complementing each other. Anyway, that's a lot of yarn out of my stash. So, of course, I ordered more yesterday. Yes, I did. I ordered. Lion Brand is having an amazing sale. Yes. They had, I don't know, it's still, I think it's done with, but $1 re-up yarn, which is it's a 4-weight, but it's a recycled yarn. And I've never tried it, so I'm going to give it a go. I ordered enough of that to do something with it. And then they had the Woolies, again, the same yarn, but not the 6-weight. I think it's a 5-weight. Marked down from $10.99 to $3.99, so I ordered a bit of that. Then I find out Little Knits, Little Knits. It's a online store that sells this amazing, beautiful, high-end yarn. Was having a warehouse sale. I'm like, oh, what? Like 65% off some of their beautiful high-end yarn. So I ordered some because I have never gotten any yarn from this place. Not a lot. I ordered 1 bag of a roving style yarn, pinks, of course, pinks, and then something else. I don't remember. I think maybe a burgundy. You'll get to see it when it comes in, because I used up some of my stash. I gotta replace it, right? Yeah. So tonight is Craft With Me Wednesday. That'll be at 6 p.m. Central Time, and I have to speak with my loom knitting tutor Cheryl to see if she will be able to make it and tutor me on how to make some socks. If not, we'll find another craft to do tonight. But just show up, we'll have some fun. Whatever I'm doing, we'll have some fun. I could continue my book folding. I might do that. Do you remember the book folding? Here, hold on. This is the book folding that I started. It's supposed to be Alice. You can see the bottom of her dress if you use your imagination. So we could do some more book folding in lieu of the loom knitting, because I do have to say Cheryl had a family emergency last week, and her sister was in a car accident, and that drama is continuing, unfortunately. So I don't know if she's up to it. If she is, we'll bring her in and we'll put a smile on her face. Yes. Okay. So, we didn't write what we were supposed to in the planner. Okay. So it is National Cupcake Day. This is the day, National Vanilla Cupcake Day. No chocolate, people. I know some of you are not into chocolate, so this is your day, National Vanilla Cupcake Day. And my thought whenever I hear about these food days is, I gotta make it, I gotta have it. No, I can forego a vanilla cupcake. Although, do you know vanilla is probably the most popular flavor of anything, especially ice cream, vanilla ice cream. Anyway, vanilla cupcake. You can use any icing you want on it. Yeah, so You know, and vanilla cupcakes themselves go back to the 1700s. They weren't always called cupcakes, and they were made in like pottery type, um, yeah, pots, and clay pots. And then now you can use teacups and um, whatever, and you can make cakes out of them. You can put them in the form of a cake so that people can just take one instead of having to slice a cake. Um, those are called, there's some cakes that are called pull-aparts, which is just cupcakes put into the shape of something, and then they put one thing of icing on it, and you just pull them apart. Kids love that, and you can use your imagination, make some vanilla ones, and then put some chocolate icing on them. Yeah, I think it would be really good if we could make vanilla, put maybe a raspberry filling in it, and then some whipped the whipped icing. Oh, that would be delicious. Hint, hint, Jean. No, she ain't gonna make it. She's a cook, but not necessarily a baker. She's made some great banana bread lately. Last time she made some banana bread with blueberries in it. Oh my God, ridiculously good. But I'm the baker. I like to think of myself as the baker. I want to make some fruitcake for Christmas, and I just have to go get the stuff. And it's expensive. When you put together a Williamsburg fruitcake, to get all the ingredients is quite expensive. So I just need to write that down and go do it. Okay, so I'm still not writing in the planner. I'm just jibber jabbering today. Okay, vanilla cupcake day. And this day in history, I know we're going to talk about Come and Play. Yep. Where the air is clean. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Yep, we're going to talk about Sesame Street because I sang the song. Okay, let's get some drills. Then we will talk about, someone asked me to put the microphone closer, so I am trying to do that. I hope you can adjust the volume. Okay, let's see, volume, we can put it up just a little. There we go. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right. So let's put the light pad on. So first I want to just give you a little wrap up of the Donald Hartung case. They're going into the penalty phase. Donald Hartung was found guilty of 3 counts of first-degree murder. His mother and his 2 brothers. So we got to do the tray thing. So before the penalty phase starts, Donald says, I would like to read a statement and I do not want to be interrupted. Now his attorney's standing there on one side of him, like this, standing, not sitting. The female attorney is sitting on the other side of him, staring at him. And he reads this statement and he is clearly pissed off at his lawyers. Now, remember I said after the guilty verdict was read, they just left the courtroom, didn't talk to him. There is a lot of friction between this man and these lawyers. I had no idea. He claims that he wanted to testify on his own behalf. I'm going to paraphrase what he read because it lasted an hour, his statement that he didn't want to be interrupted. 1 hour. So he claims that he wanted to testify on his own behalf, but his attorney said, if you get up there, I'm going to ask you some very narrow questions and be very brief. So he was not going to be able to say what he wanted to say. He claims there was a lot of exculpatory evidence. That exculpatory, there's two words, exculpatory, inculpatory. Exculpatory means it's evidence that would clear him, that would prove his innocence. Inculpatory means it's going to incriminate you, that whatever the evidence is. So he claims there was exculpatory evidence that was not brought in, like how he would leave all of his discovery. When he would get his discovery, he would carefully number every single page and keep it in order. Like, he was meticulous about his discovery, hundreds of thousands of pages. And he would leave it in his room, and he would go down in the prison, and he would watch TV and play games with the other inmates, which is really contrary to what the jailhouse snitch said. So what he was alluding to was that even though a lot of what this jailhouse snitch said to the jury wasn't actually in that discovery, what Donald Hartung was saying is when he would get the discovery, it was single page, and on the back of each page, he would write his thoughts, including like the name of his dog, that he was playing with him, So there was a lot of information that may not have been contained in the police reports and the discovery that Donald may have added himself through his own handwritings that would have been available while he was out of his cell to this jailhouse snitch. He wanted his lawyers to bring this out, and they didn't. So he was really, really upset. He was upset about a lot of the probate stuff, the will, the distribution of the will. He never actually incriminated himself for committing the murders, but he also didn't tell me anything. I didn't hear anything in that statement that would prove his innocence either. He says he has maintained his innocence. He's been in jail for 55 months, over 4 years, that he's paid his lawyers $95,000 to do nothing, to get 33 continuances, to keep his file in a back room in a huge mess. So here's what the judge says, because he was asking ultimately for a mistrial. The judge says, first of all, you knowingly and voluntarily gave up your right to testify. You stood before me. You were very, I didn't see any motion on you. I didn't see, that was your opportunity to tell me, yes, I'd like to testify. However, my lawyer, that was your opportunity. I didn't hear any of that from you. You were very clear that you were knowingly and voluntarily waiving your right to testify. He goes, secondly, I have never met a defendant that was happy with their lawyer. So no defendant thinks that they're getting effective assistance of counsel. They all think their lawyers are out to get them. So you can take that up on your appeal. It was interesting, really interesting. But the first time I had ever seen any emotion out of this guy, any whatsoever. These cats today are in rare form. What I've been doing the last couple of days is I'm giving them their own little videos. I'm putting them shorts up with the crafty cats. So Stitch is back in his little basket up there. Pearl is playing with the dinosaur. This morning I'm out in the living room drinking my coffee, which I need a sip, by the way. And I hear all this banging of like cups, and I don't know what was going on. I knew they were in the kitchen and that they were into something, but I didn't know. I'm like, I gotta go check. What are they up to? I go in the kitchen. They're on top of the refrigerator, both of them, and there's some cabinets, up there as well. They were in the cabinets, and what's in those cabinets is some old glassware that I don't use, and they were like moving it around, knocking it over. I'm like, oh my God, you guys. So they're just in rare form today. Hey, psst, no, not it. No, not that. No. He sees my box of yarn. Oh, hold on. I gotta go rescue it. No. No. Get down. Get down. Jeez. And my box of Lion Brand yarn that I'm doing the stocking with. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna take that in the bedroom because that's my next project that I want to finish up. That one and the Christmas present that I'm making for Crashly. I worked on that as well yesterday. And then afterwards I had I must be holding my shoulders wrong or something when I'm crocheting because my neck hurt a little bit. I had a headache. I need a massage, like an after crochet massage. Anyway, I digress. So let's go on to the Ahmaud Arbery case. Really interesting day. They focused, since the beginning of the case, they've been focusing on the testimony of police officers who responded to the scene. So the next officer that responded to the scene was responsible for interviewing Greg Mcmichael. Now that's the father. And what he tells him a lot of stuff. That he had seen video of this guy going into that house several times, the construction house. Now, at no time does Greg Mcmichael, during his description of why they were after Ahmaud Arbery, say that Ahmaud had committed any crime. He didn't take anything from that house. They did not have any knowledge, personal knowledge. Greg didn't have any personal knowledge that this guy had committed a crime. So he says that particular day he comes hauling ass past him, running. So I figured he had just done something in that house, or he was running from someone else's house. So he must have done something. So I run into my house, grab my .357 Magnum, because I'm not going to let him get away with anything. So at this point, he attracts the attention of his son Travis, who grabs his shotgun. They run out and get in the car. Now, first thing in the morning, we see a video. Someone had some video on their home. So we see, and it's across the street from the construction site. So we see Ahmaud Arbery walking down the street. He was not jogging, folks. If he was out for a jog, he was walking some of it. Now, I will tell you, historically, when I was training for half marathons, I would walk a little bit and then I would run. Walk a little bit, run, walk, I broke it up. So maybe that's what he was doing. I don't know. But you see him walking, then you see him with his hands on his hips. He's standing in front of the construction site, and then he walks into the construction site. We don't know what he was doing in there, but then you see him walk out, and then he starts running away. Now, I don't know if I would define it as hauling ass, but he runs away. I don't even see. He was a runner. I was a jogger. There's a difference between running and jogging. He was clearly running when he left. Now, but that may be his, maybe he's a really good runner. I'm sure we're going to hear testimony about that later. But he was really, he had a fairly good pace going there. I still don't think it was hauling ass, but anyway, so he's running. And he's going into the neighborhood, not out of it. Like you would think if someone had just committed a crime, they would be running out of the neighborhood back home. He was running into the neighborhood. Then you see Mcmichael, his son, get into the white truck, and they go after him. That's what you see on this camera vantage. But back to the interview with Greg Mcmichael, he also says to this officer, if my son hadn't shot him, I would have. He kept saying that I kept yelling at this guy, stop, 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 or I'll blow your effing head off. Different things he was yelling at this guy. But at no time during this whole interview with this police officer does he use the language, I was going to arrest him, I was going to detain him, I felt like he was trespassing. No, he didn't use any of those terms. And this is a former police officer, former investigator for the district attorney's office. So he does not use any of that language. And his defense is that he was trying to make a citizen's arrest. Well, don't you say that to the person, hey, you're under arrest. No, he never said that. Instead, he says, stop, or I'll blow your effing head off. He also, in the interview, said that Ahmaud was trying to take the shotgun away from his son. That's when he was shot. Now, I have watched that shooting video numerous times, and I don't know that I see Ahmaud trying to take the gun away. I think he's trying to get away from... It's really hard to watch this video. And the vantage point of it, you know, it's inside the third man's truck. He's filming on his phone. And he's not that close to the scene that you can actually see, you know, whether someone's trying to pull a shotgun out of somebody else's hands. He's not that close. I mean, you can see Ahmaud standing, you know, them standing face to face. You see the shotgun. You hear the blasts. There were 3 blasts. Then you see Ahmaud walk away and then fall to the pavement. The other interesting thing that happened yesterday, the defense attorney for Travis Mcmichael pissed off the judge big time. Oh my God. I've never seen a judge do this. Now, this judge, this is not his regular courtroom. He was actually appointed to oversee this case. He's a very esteemed judge in this area. So he was specially appointed for this case, and he's very stern. So he had sustained 2 objections by the prosecution. There was a line of questioning that had to do with the officer's definition of burglary. And the prosecution felt like it was irrelevant what the officer's definition of burglary was. That's up to the judge to tell the jury what the definition of burglary is. So as the judge is trying to speak to explain why he's sustaining this objection, the defense lawyer turns his back on the judge and says, well, I guess I'm just confused. And the judge stops what he's saying and says, I'm going to have the courtroom cleared here. I want the jury to leave. Everyone leave the courtroom. You know, except for the lawyers and the defendants. So quickly, everyone was like, psh, out of there. And he looked at that guy, and I will read to you exactly what he said. Oh my God. I was like, what just happened? I had to go back and watch it again. I'm like, what just happened here? So I will read it to you. You can agree or disagree with this court. That is your prerogative. But to act in the way that you just did in front of this panel, disrespect. I don't care whether you like my rulings or not, or you like me or not, but in this court, the Superior Court, it's axiomatic that counsel show at least respect for what the court is doing, and what you just did shows a lack of respect for what the court is trying to do here, which is create the environment which is fair to all the parties. I would suggest you take a moment to think about it. I'm going to step off the bench because I found that, I'll just call it rude. I have tolerated a number of things in this courtroom, including flip charts, writing in the middle of the jury gets distracted when you were doing the flip charts here, jumping up, moving the boards. I would suggest that you temper some of that very quickly because it will not be tolerated in this court. And I will leave it at that. And then he says, I need to take a break. He says, I do not need an explanation. I do not need an apology, none of that, but I would suggest that we take a moment and think about the way you're acting in this court's instructions and rulings. Then he leaves. And he doesn't come back for like 15 minutes. So, yeah. So I'm like, Whoop, rewind. What just happened? Of course, at the time that it happened, the camera was on the witness. So I didn't get the body language that was being displayed by the defense attorney. Now, through this article that I read, I understand he turned his back to the judge. He interrupts the judge. He turns his back to the judge and then makes this smart-ass remark. I got to tell you, that would be me. I was thinking it a lot. It didn't come out of my mouth. Smart remarks would come into my head, and I wouldn't say them when I was a trial attorney. Yeah, you need to keep those things inside your head. Yeah, but his slipped out. And I've noticed, similar to what the judge had said, I had noticed several times that this guy had made a smart remark to the judge. So I guess the judge had just had enough from this lawyer, who clearly thinks his stuff doesn't stink. Yeah. This trial's going to last a while. Then there was the defense lawyer for the third man, and I keep forgetting his name. And I think that's the way they want it. They don't want us to remember the third guy's name because they're trying to separate his conduct from the Mcmichael's conduct. He stands up and tells the judge the history of Veterans Day, because Thursday is Veterans Day. And apparently the judge wants to have court on Veterans Day. So this guy's like, historically, everyone takes Veterans Day off. We should take Veterans Day off so the jury can observe, blah, blah, blah. And he goes on. And at one point he says, Judge, I can see you looking down and you're probably thinking to yourself, why does all this make a difference? And he's like, here's why it makes a difference, and blah, blah, blah. And the judge smiled when he said that. So at the end of this motion, I don't know if it was a motion to take Veterans Day off, the judge says, I will take all that under consideration. So apparently we are having court on Thursday. Yeah, it's weird because not everybody, it's Veterans Day, but I don't have the day off. A lot of people don't have the day off. So if you want to observe it, you actually have to take the day off, which is kind of weird. So more on that to come, guys. So this day in history, let me just see what year it was, because I don't know. What year was it that we got Sesame Street? Do, 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 do. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Sunny day. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. What was your favorite Sesame Street character? Cookie Monster. That was mine. He's blue, he's fuzzy, and he loved cookies. Or Count Dracula. 1, 2, ringy dingy, 3, ringy dingy. Okay, 1969. I was 9 years old, so I was totally Sesame Street. I was a little bit older for their demographic. They were focusing the show on 3 to 5-year-olds to prepare them for kindergarten. For a lot of people in low-income brackets that could not afford pre-K, they were trying to prepare these kids for kindergarten and provide some entertainment. And they actually took their format from Laugh-In, which would be like short skits that were funny. Big Bird, do you remember Big Bird? Oh my God, Big Bird, Ernie and Bert. Oh, they were funny. Oh my God, they were funny. And they've broke a lot of barriers in this Sesame Street. Gay characters, bi characters, Hispanics, blacks, they've really run the gamut of breaking barriers on Sesame Street. And I think that's awesome. Is it still on? Do they still show that show? In May 2019, a Muppet character whose mother was battling addiction was introduced, acquainting kids with the opioid crisis. What? Sesame Street and opioid crisis. Wow. Oh my God. Okay. But this is a show that encourages diversity and all things, no subject matter is off limits, but they do it in just the cutest, funniest way. All the Henson characters came in, the Muppets, Miss Piggy, all those Miss Piggy. Oh my God. I can't do Miss Piggy. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, that is the show for today. Please don't forget, I will be live at 6 o'clock Central. Please come join me. It's Craft With Me Wednesday. I don't know what we're going to craft, but we'll get together and we'll have a good time. We always do. So have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye.